When you silence the endless mental chatter, the universe finally responds. Overthinking and self-doubt create resistance, blocking manifestations. But by embracing stillness and trusting the flow, you unlock intuition, synchronicities, and effortless abundance. This book reveals how to quiet the mind and let the universe work in your favor. Introduction. The mind is in a relentless state of inner dialogue, constantly analyzing, questioning, doubting, and overthinking, creating a web of resistance that blocks the effortless flow of manifestation. This constant mental chatter reinforces limiting beliefs, causes unnecessary stress, and disconnects individuals from the natural rhythm of the universe, making it difficult to receive what they truly desire. Most people are unaware that their thoughts, rather than external circumstances, are the primary obstacles preventing them from achieving their goals. Every doubt, worry, and conflicting thought sends mixed signals to the universe, distorting manifestations and delaying outcomes. The mind operates like a frequency transmitter, and when it is cluttered with excessive noise, it disrupts the clear transmission of intention, making it impossible to align with the vibrational frequency of success, abundance, and fulfillment. When people constantly talk to themselves internally, debating decisions, revisiting past failures, or fearing the future, they unconsciously hold onto the very limitations they seek to escape. This self-imposed mental prison keeps them stuck in repetitive patterns, where they experience the same struggles over and over again, mistakenly believing that external forces are responsible for their stagnation. However, the moment they stop talking to themselves, when they learn to quiet the mind and surrender control, everything changes. Silence is not an absence of thought. It is a profound state of receptivity, where the subconscious mind becomes open to new possibilities, free from resistance and internal conflict. It is in this space of stillness that the deepest transformations occur, where desires manifest effortlessly, and the universe begins to communicate in ways that were previously unnoticed. When the mind is quiet, intuition becomes sharper, synchronicities become more frequent, and life begins to flow in harmony with one's highest intentions. This is because silence allows energy to realign, creating an open channel for universal intelligence to guide, inspire, and provide exactly what is needed at the right moment. Many spiritual teachings, ancient wisdom traditions, and scientific studies on the mind emphasize that the most powerful realizations, insights, and breakthroughs occur in moments of stillness rather than excessive thinking. The human tendency to seek answers through mental overexertion often leads to frustration, stress, and confusion, while solutions and clarity emerge naturally when the mind is at peace. Those who master the ability to quiet their thoughts do not struggle to manifest. Instead, they experience an effortless unfolding of their desires, as their energy is no longer scattered, but fully aligned with the frequency of their goals. Letting go of the habit of excessive thinking is not about suppressing thoughts, but about detaching from them, observing them without attachment, and recognizing that they are not the ultimate source of truth. The real power lies beyond thought, in the realm of presence, where the universe speaks not through words, but through feelings, energy shifts, and synchronicities. The act of surrendering mental control does not mean giving up personal power. It means stepping into a higher form of power, one that operates beyond the limited scope of logical reasoning. Those who grasp this concept no longer feel the need to force their way through life. Instead, they move effortlessly with the flow of existence, trusting that everything is aligning in their favor. The struggle, worry, and doubt that once defined their reality dissolve, replaced by an unshakable sense of certainty and inner peace. Manifestation becomes instantaneous because there is no longer any interference between intention and outcome. The universe, which has always been responding, can now do so without obstruction, allowing desires to materialize in perfect timing. This book serves as a guide to breaking free from the noise of the mind stepping into a state of pure awareness and unlocking the infinite potential that has always been available. It explores the power of silence as a transformational force, showing how it can heal past wounds, dissolve fears, and open doors to new possibilities that seemed unattainable before. It reveals how the subconscious mind, once freed from excessive chatter, becomes a magnet for abundance, effortlessly attracting the experiences, opportunities, and people that align with one's highest path. Those who apply these principles will experience a radical shift in their lives, as what once required struggle and effort will now unfold with ease and grace. Instead of chasing desires, they will find that desires naturally gravitate toward them. Instead of feeling lost in an endless cycle of thought, they will feel deeply connected to their intuition and the flow of universal energy. Reality will no longer feel like an uncontrollable force, but a co-creative dance between intention and effortless allowing. Many have spent their entire lives seeking external solutions to internal struggles, believing that success, happiness, and fulfillment require relentless action and mental exertion. This belief, deeply ingrained in society, is the very thing that keeps people trapped in cycles of frustration and limitation. The truth is that the most powerful transformation happens not through more thinking, but through creating space for the universe to respond, rather than drowning it out with endless internal dialogue. By shifting the focus from excessive thought to deep presence, from resistance to flow, from control to surrender, one enters a state where manifestations occur naturally and effortlessly. The universe does not require struggle to deliver what is meant for someone. It simply requires alignment. This book will show how to cultivate that alignment, eliminate the barriers created by overthinking, and step into a reality where everything unfolds in divine perfection. The path to true power is not found in force, but in stillness, not in speaking, but in listening, not in grasping, but in allowing. Once this truth is embraced, life will never be the same again. Chapter 1. The illusion of mental noise and why it blocks your desires. The mind operates like an unstoppable machine, constantly producing thoughts, analyzing past experiences, worrying about the future, and creating endless inner dialogues. This relentless mental noise keeps people trapped in a cycle of overthinking, doubt, and resistance, preventing their desires from materializing. Every thought carries energy, and when the mind is cluttered with conflicting beliefs, fears, and worries, it sends out mixed signals that disrupt the natural process of manifestation. Many people mistakenly believe that they must think harder, analyze more, or mentally obsess over their desires to make them come true, but this only strengthens the illusion of separation between them and what they want. The mind, when overly active, creates resistance that blocks the flow of universal energy, making even the simplest desires feel difficult to attain. Thoughts like, "What if this doesn't work?" or "I need to figure out every step," create an energetic wall, reinforcing doubt and keeping individuals stuck in a loop of frustration. Mental noise is deceptive because it makes people believe they are being productive, when in reality, they are only reinforcing limitations. This internal chaos prevents clarity and weakens intuition, making it difficult to recognize signs and synchronicities from the universe. The subconscious mind absorbs every thought, whether positive or negative, and translates it into reality. When someone constantly engages in self-doubt, fear-based thinking, or overanalyzing, they unconsciously program their subconscious to reinforce those patterns, making struggle their default state. The more a person mentally wrestles with a problem, the more they anchor themselves in the energy of the problem, rather than the solution. The mind, in its attempt to control everything, resists the natural flow of abundance and creates obstacles where there should be none. This is why some people feel like they are trying everything yet seeing no results, because their energy is stuck in resistance mode due to excessive thinking. The key to breaking free from this illusion is understanding that silence, not excessive mental effort, is the bridge between desire and manifestation. True transformation happens when a person learns to detach from their thoughts and quiet the mental chatter that keeps them stuck. The most powerful manifestations occur not when someone is obsessing over their desires, but when they are in a state of inner stillness and complete trust. This is why meditation, mindfulness, and presence have been used for centuries as tools to unlock higher states of consciousness and manifestation. When the mind is calm, the subconscious becomes more receptive to new possibilities, and the universe can finally communicate without interference. Instead of trying to force outcomes, one learns to allow them by stepping into alignment with the flow of energy. The concept of effortlessness in manifestation is often misunderstood. It does not mean doing nothing, but rather removing the barriers created by overthinking, so that desires can unfold naturally. Those who master this principle notice that things they once struggled for begin to manifest easily, and synchronicities become a regular occurrence. The universe does not respond to words or thoughts alone. It responds to energy, and when that energy is in a state of resistance, manifestation slows down or becomes distorted. The illusion of mental noise is that it convinces people that thinking more will bring solutions, when in reality, solutions often arise in moments of quiet reflection. The greatest inventions, insights, and creative breakthroughs throughout history have come when the mind was relaxed, open, and receptive, not when it was filled with stress and the human brain is wired to seek solutions, but when it is overloaded with unnecessary thoughts, it cannot function at its highest potential. This is why people often have their best ideas while taking a walk, showering, or doing something unrelated to their problem, because their mind is finally free from resistance. The state of flow, where everything feels effortless, happens when the mind is silent and energy is allowed to move without restriction. Breaking free from mental noise requires awareness and practice. Most people are unaware of how much of their day is consumed by unnecessary thoughts that keep them trapped in limitation. They wake up and immediately start thinking about their to-do lists, past regrets, future worries, and 100 other things that drain their energy. This continuous inner dialogue creates stress, anxiety, and a sense of overwhelm that blocks their ability to manifest effectively. The first step toward transformation is observing this mental noise without attachment, realizing that thoughts do not define reality unless one gives them power. By shifting from constant thinking to deep presence, one gains control over their energy and opens themselves to a new way of experiencing life. Instead of being lost in thought, they become aware of their surroundings, their breath, their inner stillness, and the powerful silence that exists beneath all the noise. This silence is the space where creation happens, where intuition becomes clear, and where desires can manifest effortlessly. Mastering the mind means learning to use it as a tool rather than allowing it to run on autopilot. The mind is an incredibly powerful instrument, but when left unchecked, it becomes a source of self-sabotage. Those who understand how to quiet their mental chatter experience an entirely different reality, one where life unfolds with ease, where manifestations happen rapidly, and where they feel deeply connected to their purpose. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, they feel at peace, knowing that they are in alignment with the flow of the universe. The shift from resistance to allowance is what makes the difference between struggle and effortless manifestation. This is why some people seem to attract abundance and success naturally. They are not trying harder. They are simply not blocking the natural flow of energy with excessive thinking. The illusion of mental noise is one of the greatest obstacles to manifestation, because it keeps people stuck in a cycle of resistance without realizing it. The mind tricks them into believing that constant thinking is necessary for progress, when in reality, it is the cause of their stagnation. The moment they step into stillness, detach from overanalysis, and trust the process, everything shifts. Instead of chasing after desires, they allow those desires to flow toward them effortlessly. Instead of fearing the unknown, they embrace uncertainty with confidence, knowing that the universe is always working in their favor. By practicing stillness, reducing internal dialogue, and trusting the process, one unlocks the hidden power of their subconscious mind and aligns fully with the frequency of their desires. The mind no longer becomes a barrier, but a tool for conscious creation, and life transforms into an experience of ease, synchronicity, and limitless potential. The secret to effortless manifestation is not found in more thinking, but in less doubt, less fear, less resistance, and more trust, more presence, more stillness. The moment this principle is truly understood and applied, the struggle dissolves, and reality begins to shift in ways that once seemed impossible. Chapter 2. How the universe communicates through energy, not words. The universe does not respond to spoken words, surface-level thoughts, or forced affirmations. It responds to the energy a person consistently emits. Every human being, every object, and every event is a vibrational entity existing within an infinite energetic field where frequency dictates reality. Most people believe that by simply saying what they want or thinking about their desires, they can bring them into existence. But this is a misunderstanding of how manifestation truly works. The universe is not tricked by words that do not match the underlying energy of the person speaking them. When someone says, "I am wealthy," but internally feels lack, struggle, or fear about money, their dominant vibration is scarcity, and that is the frequency the universe responds to. This is why so many people feel frustrated with the law of attraction. They are focusing only on verbal affirmations and conscious thoughts, while ignoring the much more powerful subconscious programming and emotional energy they are radiating at all times. The universe is not responding to wishful thinking or forced positivity, but to the deep-rooted feelings and beliefs embedded within a person's vibrational field. If a person holds subconscious doubts about their worthiness, capability, or the possibility of success, these doubts become their energetic reality, even if they are consciously trying to project confidence and abundance. Every thought carries an electromagnetic frequency, but it is the emotion behind that thought that amplifies the signal and determines its effectiveness in shaping reality. When someone is filled with certainty, excitement, and gratitude, they emit a high-frequency vibration that naturally attracts opportunities, people, and events that match that state. Conversely, when someone is filled with anxiety, fear, or frustration, they unknowingly attract more situations that reinforce those negative emotions. This is why those who feel stuck in life often remain stuck. They are broadcasting signals of resistance, struggle, and uncertainty, which the universe mirrors back to them through external circumstances. The reason why some individuals seem to manifest their desires effortlessly, while others struggle for years, is entirely due to vibrational alignment. Those who align their energy with the frequency of what they desire, whether it be love, success, or health, experience smooth manifestations, because they are energetically synchronized with the reality they seek. The universe functions as a mirror, reflecting back the essence of a person's vibrational state, not their spoken requests. A person can repeatedly say they want success, but if deep down they feel unworthy, insecure, or doubtful, the universe will continue to bring them situations that reinforce those emotions. Many people unknowingly block their own manifestations by maintaining an energetic state that contradicts what they want. The subconscious mind plays a crucial role in this process because it stores all past experiences, beliefs, and emotional imprints that shape a person's energetic baseline. If someone has been conditioned to believe that life is hard, money is scarce, or love is difficult to find, these beliefs generate an automatic vibrational frequency that attracts experiences confirming them, even if consciously they wish for the opposite. To shift reality, a person must shift their energy first. This means not just thinking about what they want, but embodying the feeling of already having it. The most powerful technique for manifestation is not endless affirmations, but deep emotional alignment, feeling, living, and believing as if the desired outcome has already been achieved. This is why visualization, meditation, and deep inner work are more effective than merely repeating words or forcing thoughts. When a person cultivates emotions of joy, excitement, gratitude, and certainty, they elevate their vibration to a level where they naturally attract corresponding circumstances. The secret is in the feeling, not just the thought, because the feeling is the true communicator with the universe. Many fail to manifest because they remain energetically conflicted, where their conscious desires and subconscious fears are at war, sending mixed signals to the universe. For example, someone who wants financial abundance but subconsciously fears failure, loss, or judgment will struggle to achieve wealth because their vibrational output is inconsistent. The universe does not respond to what a person occasionally thinks about, it responds to what they feel deeply and consistently. This is why those who cultivate unwavering faith, self-belief, and an internal sense of security manifest faster and more effortlessly than those who rely solely on surface-level techniques. The state of being one maintains throughout the day is what determines their manifestations, not just a few minutes of affirmations or visualization. The process of communicating with the universe is about frequency matching. Everything that exists is already present within the quantum field as a possibility, and the only reason someone has or does not have something is because of their current vibrational state. The more one tunes into the energetic signature of their desires, the faster those desires materialize in the physical world. This is why certain people seem to attract opportunities, wealth, and success with little effort. They are energetically aligned with it, while others repel those same experiences by staying in a vibration of struggle, doubt, or fear. One of the greatest illusions people fall into is believing that external circumstances must change before their internal state does. They wait for money before feeling abundant, wait for love before feeling worthy, or wait for success before feeling confident. But the truth is that the internal state must change first. The energy must shift before the external reality follows. Those who understand this principle take control of their energy by deliberately cultivating the emotions and mental states that align with their desired reality, rather than waiting for external validation. The universe responds instantly to vibrational changes, but most people do not notice because they are too focused on physical reality instead of their internal energetic output. A shift in energy creates a shift in reality, and that shift can be instantaneous when a person fully embodies the vibration of what they seek. Letting go of resistance, doubt, and attachment speeds up the manifestation process because the universe does not operate on human timelines, it operates on vibrational alignment. When one stops trying to force outcomes and instead aligns with the frequency of what they want, the desired reality unfolds naturally, often in unexpected and effortless ways. The difference between struggling for years and manifesting instantly is not about external actions, it is about energetic mastery. By mastering their energy, people gain the ability to communicate with the universe clearly and effectively. This means becoming deeply aware of their emotional and vibrational state at all times and making adjustments whenever they notice themselves slipping into low-frequency emotions. The practice of raising one's vibration through gratitude, trust, and deep emotional alignment is what accelerates manifestations. The key to unlocking limitless possibilities lies not in speaking the right words, but in feeling the right emotions, living in the right frequency, and fully embodying the energy of one's desires before they appear in the physical world. The universe does not require words. It responds to the unspoken, the unseen, and the deeply felt energy that radiates from within. Chapter 3: the power of presence, unlocking the state of pure awareness. The power of presence is the most profound key to unlocking a state of pure awareness, where the mind ceases its endless chatter, and one enters a space of deep stillness beyond thought. Most people are caught in an endless loop of thinking, constantly dwelling on past experiences, regrets, and traumas, or projecting fears and desires into the future, never realizing that life is only ever happening in the present moment. This mental entanglement creates an illusion of separation between the self and reality, leading to stress, anxiety, and a sense of incompleteness. Presence is not just about physically existing in the now, but about fully inhabiting it with one's entire being, where awareness is no longer fractured by distractions, doubts, or mental narratives. When one cultivates true presence, they shift from being consumed by thought to becoming an observer of thought, realizing that the endless stream of internal dialogue is not their true self, but merely conditioned mental patterns. This recognition liberates one from the grip of the ego, allowing them to access a dimension of consciousness beyond ordinary perception. In this state, the mind becomes silent, not through force or suppression, but because awareness itself dissolves the need for compulsive thinking. This is the space where deep insights arise, intuition strengthens, and one feels an undeniable connection to the flow of existence. Every moment takes on a new depth, as if reality itself is being experienced for the first time without the interference of conceptual interpretation. The practice of presence transforms ordinary experiences into profound encounters with the essence of life. Simple actions such as walking, breathing, or observing nature become gateways to deeper states of consciousness when performed with total awareness. Most people live in a state of unconscious reaction, where they are driven by automatic thoughts, emotions, and external stimuli, never realizing the true freedom lies in breaking this cycle through pure presence. Presence is the art of being completely immersed in what is, without seeking, resisting, or labeling experience. It is a state where identification with personal stories dissolves, and one realizes that they are not their thoughts, not their emotions, not even their identity, but something far greater, pure awareness itself. When this realization takes hold, suffering decreases because suffering is always rooted in psychological time, the mind's fixation on past wounds or future fears. The more one remains anchored in presence, the more they escape the illusion of time, entering a state where reality is no longer perceived through the distorted lens of mental conditioning. This shift creates a sense of profound peace, as one is no longer caught in the endless push and pull of desires and anxieties, but exists in a state of effortless acceptance of the present. The power of presence extends beyond inner peace. It is the foundation of true manifestation and alignment with universal energy. When one is fully present, they emit a powerful vibrational field that influences their environment, drawing experiences and opportunities that resonate with their inner state. This is why those who practice deep presence often find that life begins to unfold in miraculous ways. Synchronicities increase, obstacles dissolve, and manifestations accelerate without force or struggle. Presence eliminates resistance because resistance is a product of the mind's attachment to how things should be, rather than accepting how they are. When one surrenders completely to the present, they stop creating energetic blocks that slow down their manifestations, allowing reality to shift effortlessly in their favor. The universe operates through energy, and energy responds not to thoughts alone, but to the state of being behind those thoughts. A person who is fully present is in harmony with the universal flow, making them a conduit for effortless creation and transformation. One of the greatest misconceptions is that presence is simply the absence of thought, but true presence is not about suppressing the mind. It is about becoming so aware that thought loses its control. The mind will always generate thoughts, but presence allows one to observe them without attachment, like watching clouds pass across the sky without mistaking them for the sky itself. The deeper one goes into presence, the more they realize that thoughts are just temporary ripples on the surface of consciousness, and beneath them lies an infinite stillness that has always been there. This stillness is the source of all creative power, all wisdom, and all higher intelligence. Those who master presence can access an intuitive knowing beyond logic, as they are no longer filtering reality through the limitations of conditioned thought. This is why moments of pure presence often bring flashes of insight, sudden clarity, and deep revelations, because they allow direct access to the intelligence of the universe, which is always speaking, but is usually drowned out by mental noise. The ability to remain present is also the key to mastering emotions, as all negative emotions arise from either resisting the present or attaching to an imagined future or past. Fear, anxiety, regret, and frustration cannot exist in pure presence, because they require identification with thought, and in presence, one sees thoughts as mere passing patterns rather than absolute reality. By staying fully in the moment, one transcends emotional reactivity and develops a deep inner stability that is unshaken by external circumstances. This inner stillness does not mean the absence of emotion, but rather a profound mastery over it, where one can experience emotions without being controlled by them. Presence dissolves the unconscious tendencies of the mind, making room for a state of inner peace, joy, and clarity that is not dependent on external validation. The paradox of presence is that the more one embraces it, the more time itself seems to dissolve. Those who are truly present experience a timeless quality to life, where every moment feels expansive, and days feel rich and full rather than fleeting. This is because presence removes the illusion of time as a linear construct and reveals reality as an ever-unfolding now. When one fully immerses themselves in this state, they no longer feel rushed, stressed, or overwhelmed by deadlines and obligations, because they understand that all power, all action, and all creation happen in the now. Those who master presence become highly effective, not because they are trying to control time, but because they are in complete harmony with the natural rhythm of existence. Every action they take is infused with full awareness, making it infinitely more powerful than scattered unconscious action. Mastering presence is also the key to deepening relationships, because true connection can only happen in the now. Most interactions are clouded by mental distractions, assumptions, and internal narratives that prevent people from truly seeing each other. When one is fully present with another person, they create an energetic field of pure attention, which has a transformative effect on communication, intimacy, and understanding. This deep level of presence makes one magnetic to others, as people are naturally drawn to those who give them their full awareness without judgment or agenda. The reason most relationships suffer is that people are not truly present with each other, but when presence is cultivated, relationships take on a level of depth and authenticity that is rare in the modern world. Ultimately, presence is the foundation of all spiritual awakening, all mastery over reality, and all deep fulfillment. It is the space where the illusion of separation dissolves, where one realizes that they are not separate from life, but an expression of it. The more presence one embodies, the more they align with the infinite intelligence that governs the universe, allowing life to unfold with effortless grace and synchronicity. Every moment of true presence is an act of surrender to the now, an acknowledgement that nothing is missing, and everything is as it should be. Those who live in presence do not seek peace, they embody it. They do not chase happiness, they radiate it. They do not strive to control life, they become one with its flow. The practice of presence is not about achieving something, it is about remembering what has always been here, the pure awareness beneath all experience, the silent observer beyond the mind, the infinite intelligence that is life itself. Chapter 4. Silence as a Gateway to Manifestation. Silence is the most powerful gateway to manifestation, because it removes the barriers of mental noise, doubt, and resistance, allowing the universe to work without interference. Most people unknowingly block their desires by overthinking, analyzing, and attaching themselves to outcomes, creating energetic friction that slows or even repels the very things they wish to manifest. The true power of manifestation does not come from forceful thinking, but from aligning with the energy of already having what is desired. This alignment is only possible when the mind becomes still, free from the constant stream of conflicting thoughts, doubts, and negative emotions. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is the absence of inner resistance, the quieting of the ego, and the surrender to the flow of universal intelligence. In silence, the conscious mind steps aside, allowing the subconscious to imprint desires without contradiction, accelerating the manifestation process. Every thought holds vibrational energy, and when surrounded by noise, whether mental or external, thoughts become scattered, weak, and ineffective. However, in deep silence, every intention carries immense power because it is no longer diluted by unnecessary distractions. The universe does not communicate through words but through energy, frequency, and vibration. Silence allows one to tap into this language, receiving guidance, intuition, and synchronicities without interference from the logical mind. When one remains silent, they shift from trying to control reality to becoming a conduit for it, where manifestations flow naturally rather than being forced. Silence brings deep awareness of the present moment, which is the only place where creation happens. Manifestation is impossible in the past or the future, because both exist only as mental constructs. True creation happens in the eternal now, and silence is the key to fully anchoring oneself in this moment. Through silence, the mind stops oscillating between past regrets and future anxieties, and in that stillness, one's desires crystallize into reality with incredible speed. Those who master silence understand that reality does not respond to desperation, struggle, or effort. It responds to certainty, clarity, and energetic alignment. Silence allows one to hold the frequency of certainty without interference from self-doubt, making manifestation effortless. Silence is the secret of all great sages, mystics, and creators because it allows them to access a level of consciousness where the physical world bends in their favor. When one becomes silent, they detach from external distractions and tune in to the infinite intelligence that governs all existence. This intelligence is always present, but most people drown it out with excessive thinking, worrying, and speaking. Words are powerful, but silence is even more powerful because it carries the vibration of knowing rather than seeking. Seeking implies lack, while knowing radiates fulfillment, and the universe responds to fulfillment by reflecting it back as reality. The more one embraces silence, the more they recognize that everything they seek already exists in the quantum field, waiting to be drawn into physical experience. Silence amplifies visualization, making mental images more vivid and emotionally charged, which strengthens the subconscious imprinting process. When desires are deeply imprinted in the subconscious, they must manifest because the subconscious mind is the true creator of reality. Most people misunderstand manifestation, thinking it requires constant affirmations, obsessive focus, or rigid techniques, but in truth, it is silence that allows desires to take root and grow. Just as a seed requires stillness to germinate and sprout, desires require the fertile ground of inner stillness to materialize. Speaking too much about desires, overanalyzing how they will manifest, or worrying about when they will arrive disrupts their natural unfolding. Silence removes this resistance by shifting one's state from effort to effortless allowance. The more silent one becomes, the more they realize that manifestation is not about doing but about being. Being in alignment with the energy of one's desires is what makes them appear effortlessly, and silence is the fastest way to reach this alignment. Silence also acts as a bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind, creating a direct channel for reprogramming limiting beliefs. The subconscious is constantly listening, but it does not understand words the way the conscious mind does. It understands energy, emotions, and deep inner conviction. Silence allows one to bypass the critical filter of the conscious mind, directly implanting new beliefs that transform reality from the inside out. This is why many ancient spiritual traditions emphasize meditation, solitude, and stillness as keys to enlightenment and transformation, because silence is the space where the mind dissolves and the true self emerges. In this state, one realizes that they are not separate from their desires, that everything they wish for is already a part of them, and that manifestation is simply the process of aligning with what already exists in the infinite field of possibilities. Silence is also the key to detaching from the outcome, which is one of the most important aspects of manifestation. Most people unknowingly push their desires away by obsessing over them, checking for results, or feeling anxious about when they will manifest. This anxious energy signals the universe that they do not yet have what they seek, reinforcing the state of lack. However, when one enters deep silence, they naturally detach, because silence brings a deep sense of trust, knowing that the universe is always working in perfect order. Detachment is not about not wanting something. It is about being so certain of its arrival that there is no need to chase or worry about it. Silence cultivates this certainty, making manifestations appear with greater ease and speed. Practicing silence also enhances one's ability to sense energy, recognize signs, and interpret synchronicities. The universe is always providing guidance, but most people miss these messages because their minds are too cluttered with unnecessary thoughts. When one becomes silent, they become highly sensitive to the subtle language of reality, noticing patterns, symbols, and intuitive nudges that guide them toward their manifestations. This heightened awareness allows them to take inspired action at the perfect moment, rather than acting out of fear or impatience. Inspired action always leads to faster and more effortless manifestations, because it is aligned with a natural flow of energy rather than forced through mental struggle. Silence also allows one to tap into the infinite power of their own energy field. The human energy field is constantly emitting signals that attract or repel experiences, and when one is lost in mental noise, their energy becomes scattered and weak. However, in silence, the energy field strengthens, becoming highly magnetic to aligned realities. This is why those who cultivate deep silence often experience increased charisma, presence, and influence, because their energy becomes more concentrated and powerful. Silence strengthens the aura, making one's presence alone a force of manifestation, where simply being in alignment causes desired experiences to unfold naturally. Ultimately, silence is the space where all creation begins and where all desires are fulfilled. It is the void from which everything emerges, the stillness that holds infinite potential, and the gateway to direct communication with the universe. Those who embrace silence discover that they no longer need to force anything to happen. Reality itself begins to shift in response to their inner stillness. Silence is the highest form of trust, the most potent tool for manifestation, and the purest state of alignment with the creative force of existence. By mastering silence, one masters reality, transforming their world not through struggle, effort, or words, but through the sheer power of being in perfect harmony with the infinite intelligence of the universe. Chapter 5. Rewiring the subconscious mind for automatic alignment. Rewiring the subconscious mind for automatic alignment is the most powerful transformation one can undertake, because the subconscious governs nearly every aspect of life, from thought patterns and emotions to habits and even the outcomes a person experiences. The subconscious is like a supercomputer that runs on deeply embedded programs, most of which were installed during early childhood, shaped by societal conditioning, parental influence, past experiences, and emotional traumas. These programs determine how one perceives the world, what they believe is possible, and whether they unconsciously allow or block the manifestations they consciously desire. While the conscious mind can set goals and visualize success, if the subconscious holds contradictory beliefs such as, money is hard to earn, I don't deserve love, or manifestation doesn't work for me, those limiting beliefs will override any conscious efforts, keeping a person stuck in repetitive life patterns. The subconscious does not think critically or make judgments. It simply follows the instructions it has received over time, executing them like a pre-written script. This is why people often struggle to change their lives, even when they try hard, because their subconscious mind is still operating on an old program that contradicts their conscious desires. Rewiring the subconscious for automatic alignment means replacing outdated, limiting programs with empowering, high-frequency beliefs that support effortless manifestation. The process begins with identifying the deep-rooted subconscious blocks that are preventing alignment. These blocks can be discovered by observing recurring negative thought patterns, emotional triggers, or life circumstances that seem to repeat despite efforts to change them. Once these limiting beliefs are brought into awareness, they can be consciously replaced with new, empowering beliefs. The most effective way to do this is through repetition, visualization, emotional imprinting, and accessing altered states of consciousness. Repetition is crucial because the subconscious learns through constant reinforcement, just as it took years of repeated exposure to societal conditioning to create limiting beliefs. It takes repeated exposure to new beliefs to override them. Affirmations, when spoken with conviction and repeated daily, gradually reprogram the subconscious by replacing old mental scripts with new ones. However, affirmations alone are not enough. They must be accompanied by emotional intensity, as the subconscious absorbs information most effectively when it is tied to strong emotions. This is why simply saying, I am wealthy, may not work if deep down a person feels broke, because the subconscious responds more to feelings than words. Visualization is another powerful tool for rewiring the subconscious, because the mind cannot distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. By consistently visualizing oneself already living the desired reality with full sensory detail, feeling the emotions of already having it, the subconscious starts to accept the new reality as truth, shifting internal programming to align with it. This is why elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, and high achievers use visualization techniques. By mentally rehearsing success, they condition their subconscious to expect it, making success inevitable. The subconscious mind is also most receptive when in a relaxed or meditative state, such as just before falling asleep, upon waking, or during deep meditation. In these states, the brain waves slow down, making it easier to bypass the critical filter of the conscious mind and directly implant new beliefs into the subconscious. This is why techniques such as hypnosis, guided meditations, and subliminal affirmations work. They introduce new programming while the mind is in a highly receptive state, allowing changes to take root faster. Another key factor in subconscious reprogramming is acting as if the manifestation has already happened. The subconscious does not understand the difference between imagination and reality. It simply follows the most dominant input it receives. When a person consistently behaves, thinks, and feels as though they already have what they desire, the subconscious begins to accept this new reality as fact, adjusting external circumstances to match. This is the reason why people who naturally expect success, wealth, or love seem to attract it effortlessly, because their subconscious is already aligned with that reality, so they subconsciously make choices, take actions, and radiate energy that attracts those outcomes. The key is to maintain this state of alignment consistently, as inconsistency can weaken the reprogramming process. Every time a person doubts, complains, or falls back into old thought patterns, They reinforce the previous subconscious programming, slowing down the shift. Emotions play a crucial role in subconscious reprogramming because they act as the fuel that amplifies intentions. The subconscious mind responds more to emotional intensity than to logical reasoning. This is why strong emotions, whether positive or negative, tend to shape reality faster. If a person repeatedly associates stress, fear, or frustration with money, their subconscious will reinforce scarcity. But if they consciously train themselves to associate joy, gratitude, and certainty with abundance, their subconscious will begin creating experiences that match those emotions. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional states for subconscious reprogramming because it signals to the subconscious that what is desired is already present, reinforcing a state of having rather than lacking. When gratitude is combined with visualization and affirmations, the subconscious rapidly adopts the new belief system. Detachment is another essential component of subconscious reprogramming. Many people unknowingly block their manifestations by obsessing over them, constantly checking for results, or feeling anxious about when they will appear. This creates resistance because it signals to the subconscious that the manifestation is not yet real. However, when a person fully trusts their new subconscious programming, they naturally detach because they no longer need to force reality to change. They know it is already aligning. This is why the most successful manifestors appear calm, relaxed, and unbothered. Their subconscious is already programmed to expect success, so they do not feel the need to chase it. The ultimate goal of rewiring the subconscious mind is to reach a state where alignment happens automatically without conscious effort. When the subconscious is fully reprogrammed, there is no longer any need to try to manifest. Reality simply adjusts itself to match the new dominant frequency. This is why some people seem to attract wealth, love, and opportunities effortlessly. It is not luck, but the result of deeply ingrained subconscious patterns that align with those experiences. Once new subconscious programming is installed, the external world reshapes itself to reflect it. Opportunities arise seemingly out of nowhere, synchronicities become frequent, and manifestations appear with ease because the subconscious is now operating on a different frequency. The process of subconscious reprogramming is not about forcing change, but about creating new default mental and emotional states that naturally attract the desired reality. Most people live their entire lives on autopilot, unaware that their subconscious mind is creating their reality based on outdated programming. However, by consciously rewiring the subconscious, anyone can shift their external circumstances, breaking free from limitations and effortlessly manifesting their desires. The key is persistence. Just as years of conditioning created the old subconscious patterns, repeated and intentional reprogramming is required to install new ones. The good news is that once this reprogramming is complete, life changes in extraordinary ways, and manifestation becomes a natural, automatic process rather than a struggle. When the subconscious is fully aligned with a person's highest vision, they no longer have to make things happen. Reality effortlessly reorganizes itself to match their new internal state. By mastering the subconscious mind, one masters their reality, transforming their life with ease, flow, and certainty. Chapter 6: Letting Go, the Art of Surrendering to the Flow of the Universe. Letting go is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood concepts when it comes to manifesting desires and aligning with the flow of the universe. The act of surrendering is not about giving up or becoming passive. Rather, it is about consciously releasing attachment to specific outcomes, trusting the unseen forces of creation, and allowing the universe to work in perfect harmony, without interference from fear, doubt, or many people struggle to manifest what they desire because they unknowingly create energetic blockages by holding on too tightly to their goals, obsessing over timelines, questioning when their manifestations will arrive, or fearing that things will not unfold as they expect. This mental and emotional tension sends mixed signals to the universe, keeping them stuck in a cycle of resistance, frustration, and delayed results. The universe operates on a natural rhythm, a flow of infinite intelligence that effortlessly brings everything into alignment at the right time. However, when a person resists that flow by trying to control every detail, they disrupt the natural unfolding of their manifestations, causing unnecessary struggle and stress. True surrender is the art of shifting from resistance to trust, from force to ease, and from doubt to absolute certainty that everything is always working in one's favor, even when it doesn't appear that way on the surface. One of the greatest misconceptions about surrender is the fear that letting go means losing what one desires. In reality, the opposite is true. When a person fully lets go, they become a magnet for what they want, because their energy shifts from desperation and lack to confidence and certainty. Desperation repels manifestations, while trust attracts them effortlessly. The reason behind this lies in how the subconscious mind interprets attachment versus surrender. When a person clings to a desire with anxious energy, their subconscious perceives that they do not truly believe in their ability to receive it. This self-doubt becomes a form of resistance, signaling to the universe that they are not in alignment with their desire. However, when they surrender and detach from the how and when, they send a powerful energetic signal that they already trust in the outcome, allowing the universe to deliver it in the most effortless way possible. Letting go requires reprogramming deep-seated subconscious beliefs about control, trust, and divine timing. From an early age, many people are conditioned to believe that they must work tirelessly, struggle, or manipulate circumstances to achieve what they want. This belief creates an unconscious habit of resisting the natural flow of life, leading to burnout, frustration, and unnecessary suffering. However, those who understand the power of surrender recognize that the universe operates beyond human logic, orchestrating events, people, and opportunities in ways that the conscious mind cannot predict or control. When one stops trying to force reality into a rigid mold and instead embraces uncertainty with faith, they allow miracles to unfold. The key to surrendering lies in developing an unshakable inner knowing that everything is already working out in the best possible way. Meditation, breathwork, and mindfulness are powerful tools for cultivating this trust because they quiet the overactive mind, dissolve resistance, and bring awareness to the present moment. When a person is fully present, they release worries about the past and future, aligning with the effortless flow of the universe. Another essential practice for letting go is gratitude. When one focuses on the blessings they already have, they reinforce the belief that they are supported, provided for, and on the right path, reducing the need to control outcomes. Gratitude shifts energy from lack to abundance, creating a powerful vibrational match for even greater manifestations. Surrendering also involves trusting in divine timing. People often mistake delays as failures or rejections, but in reality, delays are usually detours leading to something even better. Sometimes, what one desires is not yet in alignment with their highest good, and the universe withholds it until they are fully ready to receive it. Those who understand surrender do not panic when things seem to be taking longer than expected. Instead, they see delays as signs of refinement, knowing that everything is unfolding in perfect order. They trust that even when things seem to be falling apart, they are actually falling into place. Mastering the art of surrender leads to a profound shift in the way life unfolds. People who embrace letting go experience more ease, joy, and synchronicities because they are no longer blocking the flow of energy with their doubts and fears. They become receptive to opportunities they never could have planned, meet the right people at the right time, and witness their desires manifest in ways beyond their imagination. They stop feeling the need to chase success, love, or abundance because they naturally attract everything meant for them. Ultimately, surrendering is about shifting from a mindset of lack to one of abundance, from struggle to ease, and from doubt to unwavering trust. When one truly lets go, they open themselves to receiving with effortless flow, allowing the universe to bring forth their highest good in ways beyond what the conscious mind could ever conceive. The act of surrender is not a loss of power, it is the ultimate expression of faith and alignment, where the greatest manifestations occur with the least amount of effort. Chapter 7. Tuning into Universal Signals. How to Recognize and Act on Synchronicities. Tuning into universal signals and recognizing synchronicities is about developing a deep awareness of the hidden patterns, signs, and messages that the universe constantly provides as guidance. Every thought, emotion, and intention generates an energetic frequency, and the universe responds by mirroring that energy back through external events, seemingly random coincidences, or subtle nudges. Synchronicities are not mere accidents. They are deliberate communications from the unseen intelligence governing reality, meant to confirm alignment, redirect one's path, or offer insights that the logical mind cannot perceive on its own. These signals can take many forms, repeating numbers like 111 or 444, hearing the same phrase multiple times in unrelated conversations, meeting someone unexpectedly who provides the exact information or opportunity needed, experiencing déjà vu, or even having an animal cross one's path at a meaningful moment. These occurrences often feel uncanny because they defy ordinary probability, creating a sense of wonder or recognition that something deeper is at play. However, many people miss these signals because their minds are too cluttered with internal dialogue, overthinking, or skepticism, dismissing these occurrences as chance. The key to recognizing these messages lies in cultivating inner stillness, being fully present, and trusting that the universe is always communicating in ways beyond words. When a person quiets the mental noise and operates from a state of mindfulness, they become more receptive to noticing and interpreting synchronicities. Every sign from the universe holds meaning, but the interpretation requires intuition, reflection, and a willingness to act. When a synchronicity appears, the first step is to pause and consider what was happening at that exact moment, what thoughts were occurring, what emotions were present, and what life situations were unfolding. The universe aligns signals with an individual's state of being, meaning that signs are often responses to silent questions, internal struggles, or upcoming decisions. For example, if someone is contemplating a major life change, such as leaving a job or moving to a new city, and suddenly starts seeing repeated signs related to that decision, like overhearing strangers discussing the same city, seeing advertisements about it everywhere, or encountering someone from that place, it is an indication that the universe is providing guidance. Synchronicities do not operate through linear logic, but through energetic resonance. The more aligned a person is with their desires and intentions, the more frequently they experience meaningful coincidences that reinforce their path. If synchronicities seem to be missing or negative patterns keep repeating, it may signal misalignment or the need to shift perspectives, beliefs, or energy to get back in flow. Trust is a crucial factor in tuning into universal signals. Many people notice synchronicities but hesitate to act on them out of fear, doubt, or logical resistance. They question whether the sign was real or if they are just imagining things, causing them to dismiss the very guidance they seek. The universe communicates in subtle, non-forceful ways, meaning it will never impose a decision, but will continuously offer hints, nudges, and confirmations. Those who are deeply attuned to their intuition develop the ability to recognize signs instantly, acting on them with confidence instead of overanalyzing. The stronger the trust in these messages, the more frequently they appear, forming a feedback loop of guidance that makes life feel more synchronistic, effortless, and divinely orchestrated. Acting on synchronicities does not always mean making drastic changes immediately. Sometimes, it simply means acknowledging the message, adjusting thoughts or emotions, or becoming aware of an opportunity that is about to unfold. By acting in alignment with these signals, one strengthens their connection to the universe, making reality feel more fluid, connected, and responsive to their intentions. Meditation, mindfulness, and journaling enhance this ability by helping the mind slow down, observe patterns, and develop a heightened sensitivity to subtle universal messages. When a person actively seeks to decode synchronicities, they begin to notice how the universe always provides guidance at the perfect time, reinforcing the idea that nothing in life is truly random. People who are highly attuned to synchronicities often report experiencing moments where everything clicks into place effortlessly, where unexpected doors open, the right people arrive, and events unfold with divine precision. These moments are proof that reality is co-created through energy, awareness, and responsiveness to universal signals. Synchronicities also serve as catalysts for transformation, as they often appear before major shifts, breakthroughs, or turning points in life. When someone is about to enter a new phase, whether spiritually, emotionally, or materially, the universe intensifies these messages to prepare them, confirm their direction, or remove doubts. Sometimes signs appear in the form of repeated obstacles or challenges, signaling that something needs to change before moving forward. In such cases, rather than resisting or feeling frustrated, one should view these as opportunities for growth, understanding that the universe is guiding them toward a higher alignment, rather than allowing them to proceed on a path that may not serve them. The key to fully integrating universal signals is surrender, letting go of the need to force signs, overanalyze meanings, or control the timing of manifestations. The more one relaxes into the flow of life and remains open to receiving, the clearer and more frequent the guidance becomes. The universe operates on a frequency of ease, and those who embrace this natural rhythm experience a heightened sense of synchronicity, as if life itself is speaking to them through patterns, symbols, and perfectly timed events. Some people find their entire reality shift once they commit to tuning in, as they begin noticing messages in everyday occurrences that once seemed insignificant. When someone truly masters the art of recognizing and acting on synchronicities, life transforms into a continuous dialogue with the universe, where every event, encounter, and circumstance is a reflection of their inner state. This deepened awareness leads to more effortless manifestations, serendipitous opportunities, and an unshakable trust in the unseen forces that shape reality. Those who consistently tune into these signals feel a sense of divine orchestration in everything they do, making life feel like a well-guided journey rather than a chaotic series of random events. The more one aligns with their highest self, the more the universe responds in perfect synchronicity, revealing that reality is not separate from consciousness, but a direct reflection of one's inner world. Chapter 8. Becoming an Open Channel. The ultimate state of effortless manifestation. Becoming an open channel for effortless manifestation is the process of completely dissolving inner resistance, shifting into a state of alignment with universal energy, and allowing reality to unfold naturally without force, struggle, or excessive effort. Manifestation is not about controlling or chasing outcomes, but about synchronizing thoughts, emotions, and vibrations with the desired reality, so that it flows into existence effortlessly. The universe is an infinite energetic field, always responding to one's dominant frequency, and when a person tunes their energy correctly, they begin to experience effortless synchronicities, rapid manifestations, and a sense of divine orchestration in their life. However, most people block their manifestations by clinging to fear, doubt, impatience, and negative mental programming that creates an energetic barrier between them and their desires. The secret to unlocking effortless manifestation lies in the ability to trust detach, and allow energy to flow without resistance. Those who become open channels develop a deep understanding that the universe operates through natural laws, and rather than forcing things to happen, they focus on becoming the type of person who naturally attracts what they want. Every thought, belief, and emotional state sends out a vibrational signal that determines what is reflected back in reality. So to master manifestation, one must master their internal state. People who struggle with manifestation often believe they must work hard, prove themselves, or use sheer effort to get what they want. But this mindset is rooted in scarcity and disconnection from the effortless flow of energy. The universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to certainty, ease, and alignment. The first step in becoming an open channel is removing mental and emotional blockages that interfere with a natural flow of energy. This requires identifying subconscious patterns that reinforce lack, fear, or struggle, and replacing them with beliefs of abundance, trust, and effortless receiving. Many people unconsciously sabotage their manifestations by doubting their ability to receive, worrying about how things will happen, or becoming attached to rigid expectations. These forms of resistance create energetic static that blocks the free flow of manifestation. The key is to reach a state of deep internal alignment, where one fully trusts that the universe is working in their favor and allows things to unfold without needing to control the process. Meditation, visualization, and mindfulness help rewire the subconscious mind, replacing old thought patterns with new, high-frequency programming that naturally attracts desired experiences. Another critical aspect of becoming an open channel is emotional mastery, learning to regulate emotional states so that they align with the frequency of the desired outcome. When emotions are unstable, energy becomes inconsistent, leading to delayed or distorted manifestations. Those who have mastered effortless manifestation maintain a stable, high-frequency state of joy, gratitude, and certainty, which creates a magnetic pull for their desires. Detachment is another fundamental principle in the process of becoming an open channel. Many people become fixated on their manifestations, constantly checking for results, overanalyzing situations, or feeling frustrated when things do not appear instantly. This creates resistance because attachment is rooted in fear and lack, signaling to the universe that one does not truly believe their manifestation is already on its way. True detachment does not mean giving up on desires. It means being in such a deep state of trust that one no longer feels the need to control anything. When someone lets go of the need for immediate results, they create space for manifestations to materialize naturally, often in ways far better than they initially imagined. The most powerful manifestors are those who live in a state of surrender, knowing that their desires are already fulfilled in the energetic realm and will materialize at the perfect time. Another crucial aspect of effortless manifestation is understanding the role of inspired action. While traditional manifestation teachings sometimes focus only on thoughts and emotions, becoming an open channel also involves recognizing and acting upon intuitive nudges and synchronicities that guide one toward their goals. Inspired action is different from forced action because it arises naturally, feels effortless, and leads to rapid results. Those who are fully aligned with their desires often find that opportunities, ideas, and resources appear exactly when needed, requiring minimal effort on their part. This is because the universe is always guiding individuals toward the path of least resistance, where manifestations occur in the most seamless and harmonious way. People who struggle with manifestation often miss these signals because they are too focused on forcing their own plans instead of trusting the divine flow of events. The moment one releases control and follows their intuition, they step into a reality where things align effortlessly, proving that manifestation is not about working harder but about flowing with universal intelligence. The final and most powerful element of becoming an open channel is maintaining a state of inner peace, joy, and gratitude regardless of external circumstances. Reality is a mirror of internal energy, and those who can sustain high vibrations, even before their manifestations appear, will find that their desires come to them much faster. Many people fall into the trap of allowing their emotions to be dictated by what they see in the present moment, but true mastery comes from maintaining unwavering faith, even when physical evidence has not yet appeared. Those who understand this principle operate from a higher perspective, knowing that everything is already unfolding perfectly, even when it seems invisible to the logical mind. The more one aligns with feelings of joy, peace, and appreciation, the more they become an energetic match for everything they desire, making manifestation an effortless process rather than a struggle. The universe always delivers what one is energetically ready to receive, so becoming an open channel is about reaching a state of absolute certainty, surrender, and vibrational alignment, where desires manifest with ease, precision, and divine timing. Conclusion. The journey of manifestation and alignment with the universe ultimately leads to the profound realization that reality is not something external that must be controlled, forced, or struggled against, but rather something fluid that responds effortlessly to one's internal state of being. Everything a person experiences in their physical reality is a direct reflection of the frequencies they emit through their thoughts, emotions, and subconscious beliefs. The fundamental misunderstanding that blocks most people from achieving their desires is the belief that they must constantly ask, push, and chase after what they want, rather than allowing the natural flow of the universe to bring it to them effortlessly. The universe is an intelligent, living force that is always responding in perfect synchrony with the vibrational signals a person sends out. But when mental noise, fear, doubt, and overthinking dominate the mind, these energetic signals become chaotic. This mental clutter creates resistance, preventing one from fully receiving what is already being aligned in their favor. The key to shifting into an effortless state of manifestation lies in silencing this inner noise, quieting the ego-driven mind, and surrendering completely to the universal intelligence that is always at work behind the scenes. When the mind is free from incessant chatter, unnecessary analysis, and fear-based thinking, a clear channel is created through which the universe can communicate, guide, and deliver exactly what is needed in divine timing. Many people struggle with manifestation because they operate from a place of force, attempting to dictate how and when things should happen, rather than trusting that their desires are already in motion. This attachment to rigid expectations, specific outcomes, and self-imposed timelines only creates further resistance, blocking the natural flow of energy. The process of truly becoming an open channel for the universe requires a deep level of trust, surrender, and understanding that everything operates according to vibrational alignment, not mental effort. Those who learn to step back from the need to control every aspect of their reality discover that the universe has always been working in their favor, arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities in ways far beyond what the logical mind can comprehend. The art of effortless manifestation is not about asking the universe repeatedly or begging for change, but about aligning so fully with the frequency of the desired outcome that it becomes inevitable. This alignment is achieved not by striving or forcing, but by shifting into a state of deep inner knowing, unwavering belief, and emotional resonance with the reality one wishes to experience. The practice of silence, presence, and observation plays a critical role in this transformation. Most people are so preoccupied with their thoughts, worries, and desires that they fail to notice the subtle ways in which the universe is constantly communicating with them. Every moment contains signs, synchronicities, and energetic nudges that are guiding one toward their highest potential, but these messages can only be perceived in a state of inner stillness. By practicing detachment, letting go of unnecessary thought loops, and embracing a quiet, receptive mind, one begins to notice how everything is already falling into place naturally. This shift from an active, forceful approach to a receptive, Allowing state is the ultimate key to unlocking a life where manifestations occur with ease. Those who master this way of being do not chase their desires. They attract them effortlessly, as their very presence becomes a magnet for the experiences, opportunities, and realities they wish to embody. The concept of effortless manifestation is not a mystical idea, but a fundamental principle of energetic alignment, demonstrating that when one removes resistance and allows life to unfold, everything begins to work in their favor. Letting go of the illusion of control is perhaps the hardest but most necessary step in this process. The mind is conditioned to believe that external actions alone determine reality, but true transformation happens internally first. The moment a person stops seeking validation, stops doubting whether they are worthy, and stops fearing the unknown, they enter a state of flow where the universe delivers exactly what is needed at precisely. This requires a deep level of trust, not just in the external world, but in one's own power as a conscious creator. The shift from struggle to flow happens the moment one fully realizes that they are not separate from the universe, but an extension of it. Every thought, feeling, and belief is part of an ongoing conversation with reality, and when this conversation becomes clear, intentional, and aligned, life transforms into an effortless dance of synchronicity. Those who achieve this state understand that they no longer need to talk excessively to the universe, because their energy already speaks louder than words. It is not about what is said, but about what is felt, believed, and embodied on a deep, subconscious level. Once the mind is trained to release resistance, detach from outcomes, and exist in a state of unwavering faith, the barriers that once blocked manifestations begin to dissolve. Life becomes a seamless flow where desires materialize naturally, guided by an unseen intelligence that operates beyond the limits of human understanding. This is the ultimate truth of manifestation. The universe has always been responding, always been aligning, and always been delivering, but it is only in the absence of mental noise and internal struggle that one can finally perceive this truth. The final realization is that effort, struggle, and force were never necessary. They were only illusions created by a conditioned mind that did not yet understand the true nature of reality. The journey does not end with learning techniques or methods. It ends with a complete transformation of consciousness, where one no longer feels the need to ask for what they want, because they now understand that everything they seek is already theirs, the moment they align with it vibrationally. In this state, there is no more waiting, no more questioning, and no more doubt. There is only the effortless unfolding of a reality that was always meant to be.